Exactly, you may say 1 week from now.
First, apologize
Apologies.
for being 1 hour late.
But no, we had planned to go live at 7.
First, apologies for changing the time today from 6:15 to 7.
And then we come.
Apology number 1.
Apology number 2.
For coming 18 minutes after we had promised that we will.
Very bad.
I know.
Who's to blame?
I don't know.
Fans.
Well,
Fan. Okay.
Fan behavior is always to blame, no?
Oh
yes, big. This is
Leave that up, please.
Siddharth.
No, let him not. You guys say, na? How can he? Doesn't look nice, na? He himself.
खुद के तारीफ करना.
Exactly. You guys, one of you have to do it.
I firstly
Drum
never
roll
knew that this was so serious.
Drum roll first. Yeah. Tarang.
So then, Siddharth, a dear friend who's made a name for himself for being after Indian cricket fans, a certain section of the Indian cricket fans in this very chair. We should have sat here, Siddharth, because I remember the day that the idea conceived, you were sitting here and you've had most of your rants sitting here. Anyhow,
chairs don't
so
matter.
it was in this chair that Siddharth, the author, was born in many ways, because he feels that there's so much that goes wrong in terms of fan behavior, and it was just on one of the chats that we said that why don't Siddharth you come up?
Let's get.
No, I said I remember.
It was one of our family
idea
members.
Was floated by
Yeah, but I remember saying that Siddharth should come up with the code of conduct for fans.
Yes.
I said it.
You said
Sitting there.
And then somebody came up with an idea he should write a book. Something like that.
So, and Siddharth has taken it to heart. Siddharth has really started to pen his thoughts down, and it is, as his social media suggests, work in progress.
Work in
How
progress.
many pages?
7 pages have been.
7?
Yeah, I mean 2 days off. I mean,
That's a very good pace.
I type quickly also. That
that
is
we
one advantage that I have.
Yes.
I and Shubham Garg in the app team. Shubham Garg is like
That's not Shubham.
Shubham Pandey.
Shubham
Garg is
Pandey,
our
sorry.
family member. Yeah.
Pandeyji is cut.
Garg is, yeah.
He just uses fingers like a hammer. Just pounds the keyboard.
Yeah.
So tell us, he has started writing a
Yes.
book, 7 pages down.
Code of conduct for fans. Co-authored by Shane Dias.
Code of conduct for Indian cricket fans.
For fans in India.
Cricket.
Indian cricket fans.
Specific.
ICF.
It's not for fans of Manchester United in Manchester.
It better
Or
not
New
be.
Delhi.
It's
Or the
not,
Real Madrid
it's
is first.
not for fans of the Kiwi rugby team.
Not for the PSG Ultras.
It is not for the fans of Chicago Bulls in Chicago. So it is very specifically for fans of, firstly, the sport, which is only cricket, and specifically the fans of a certain team, which is India, and specifically targeted at a certain section of fans, the ultras.
The Ultras.
ICTF.
ICTF. Yep.
Chalo, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well
So,
begun is half done.
yes.
7 pages, thala for a reason.
Good one.
Yep. Allah for a reason.
That favorite cricketer.
Yes.
In those 7 pages, a mention of him,
No.
Virat.
No, I've just started.
Oh, their names came.
Their names, it's predominantly the starting point is Hardik and Rohit. That's the starting point. The preface
Opening
is
shot.
that. Yeah.
Opening shot.
The preface is that. The backdrop is that. I mean, you saw IPL, what happened, Hardik, Rohit, the booing, but side by side a fan was killed. That is one dark story no one is focusing upon that much. So that's why.
Well done.
Looking forward.
Now start with your intro, which you had planned.
Yeah, so 1 week from now, India is going to play its first World Cup match against Ireland. Nikhil will be there by...
No, second match.
Second match.
first
Why the
match will be
second
here.
match? Yeah, he will be...
Hopefully he'll be there.
No, first match you're here.
No. Even second match, hopefully.
Hopefully. So that is why the question that we are all asking is, okay, today India has begun training, whatever strength and conditioning.
Only strength and conditioning, no net practice.
Yeah.
For a
In
reason
New
there
York.
is, yes, for a reason there is no net practice.
Yeah.
Because the strength and conditioning coach Soham Desai in this one video that has come out, on social media platforms. He says that the primary reason is that players for the last 2.5 months have been playing in temperatures at a point of the day which was predominantly at night, that now these matches are going to be taking place in the daytime. So the heat is different, the air is different, it takes time to acclimatize. So right now there's a lot of acclimatization that's happening, and they're looking at 45 minutes per se to absorb all the heat. They're only looking at 45 minutes session as of now. So there is strength and conditioning is the primary focus, where there's some shuttle running happening, there's some jogging that's happening, and there's foot volley that's happening. So it's just these 3 activities that they're focusing on right now. No skill based practice. So that's to say no net practices.
No net practice, plus most of the squad, I mean, they're there, but some very prominent members have not reached the US.
Oh, who Hardik has reached?
A certain Virat.
Virat, yeah.
Yeah. Virat was seen in a restaurant, a dinner.
Veronica's
in
You've been there, Siddharth?
Bandra Bandstand, yes, it's a quite old joint that is there for the past 7-8 years. It was under St. Jude's Bakery.
Oh, quite old, is it? Is it better than Betty's?
It is not that better.
Archie's fans will get that.
Archie's fans. But Veronica always was better than Betty.
No.
Let's be very honest.
Hard
Depends if
disagree.
you like a redhead or a blonde. So.
Or what kind of personality type you prefer?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, Veronica was the rich, snobbish thing, but the food is definitely not snobbish.
So you've been to that restaurant?
I've been there.
What kind of cuisine?
You get kind of Mexican, American cuisine also. You get, it's like a bistro.
I'm not
style.
taking his word for food. Simple as biased guy always will put Mumbai food, and
Oh, it is American food.
Yeah, what is
But
it?
even then, if he's putting Mumbai food ahead of Delhi food, I know where to stop.
You are in a minority.
I'm not asking no, he's in a majority.
How?
No, you are in the minority in this case.
Agreed. It's a
Different
hands-down
place.
winner.
Yeah.
So you're in the minority, but anyway, not getting into that debate. And it's not the quality of food I'm asking him, because
It's what cuisine.
He's lucky enough. He's a rich man.
Oh.
He dines in the same restaurants where Virat Kohli is dining.
And Zaheer Khan.
It is
It's a big shot.
It's a much more affordable thing, because from 1,500 to 2,500
That's
per
right. Even I
person,
checked.
you can get food which is
No.
Affordable, yeah. That's
No.
like half the country's 1 week salary.
I mean, I
So macro says cost for 2 is 1,500. I checked. I was doing that story.
It's not bad. It's not
So
bad.
what cuisine? You tell me what cuisine.
I don't know. I didn't check the cuisine much.
You
but-
check the price.
Yeah, it's just
Sandwiches.
the bio didn't mention the cuisine that much.
Burgers, sandwiches, pizzas.
Yes, not pizzas. There's tamales, which is Mexican and American cuisine also that you can get.
Enchiladas.
Yeah, and all those kind of things. So, with alcohol, it's 2,500. Without alcohol, it's 1,500.
Okay, you've been there. Huh? Fancy restaurant, nice.
It's tapestry. What you look at it, the decorations and all those things. It's very unique. Lot of color, lot of vibrancy in that. So it's quite good. Bandra Bandstand, to get it for 1,500, it's
So
quite.
he has not gone, Abhi, yet, huh, Virat? So he's allowed a few days.
He took a break with the permission of BCCI, is what we've got.
And some paperwork as well.
The paperwork was not the main thing mentioned. It was majorly that he had requested a break and the BCCI granted it. Paperwork.
Can be both things.
No, I believe his visa is.
So he's sorting out his paperwork while sitting in Veronica's?
not-
But he anyway doesn't have to do his paperwork,
Not
na?
paperwork. I believe the US visa hasn't come through. So it
Ah,
was applied late, is what I'm getting to hear, and so he's just waiting for that to come,
makes sense.
and then he's going to be going. So that is what he was finishing, and then he went. So if he's waiting for his visa to come,
Yeah.
then if he's going to a restaurant,
He may as well just chill at home. What is he can't? It's not like he can fly out.
yeah. Plus they hardly get a chance to be going
Yeah.
out like this with family. Na? We just finished the IPL. My only issue with this is I wish the BCCI had allowed the players also, the rest of the players also, just about a little bit time. No, like
Like the Australian team has?
Yeah.
They are playing 4 substitutes as from the backroom staff. but
Backroom
that's
staff
okay.
members,
How
yeah.
much would these sessions and all you need, right? I know that people will talk about it. Sometime breaks help. I know a lot of them are not in form, but sometimes, the best example is Virat only. When he was in
Ironically,
form,
yeah.
he took a break and came back.
Yeah.
So I like this, and there's no issue that, of course Virat has paperwork to do, which is why he's not gone. He's awaiting his US visa. But if all other players had been allowed, I'm not saying a lot. 4-5 days with family, they're going to spend
Yeah.
some time and then go on. Now, some of them finished their match today in one city, had to go to the next city and then go.
Yeah, I was looking at that travel. Virat Kohli, by the way,
Unfair.
traveled the most. And that's to say, obviously, the other RCB players as well. Some 14,000 odd kilometers is what Virat Kohli travelled during
That's
the course of the
almost from
IPL.
Mumbai to New York, the distance.
Everyone agrees that everyone should have been given an off, or
I mean, the way they've scheduled it is far from ideal. I mean,
or do you think they needed to? Be
no. Why? Most of these players have just finished off long IPL. These things. Then it's the same like what we talked about the WTC. Only in this case, it's way more extreme because the WTC, whatever was said and done, was still one test match, and the time zone change isn't that intense. This time around, I don't know what they were thinking with the scheduling.
Look,
But
look.
then there will be another school of thought. Like I feel all of them should have been allowed sometime.
Oh, I
Another
agree.
school of thought that might say no, you need to get down to business because you're all out of form. So all this can happen later.
I mean,
and
the kind of situation that the Indian cricket team faces is a promotion from what happened 14 years ago. 2010, same, West Indies finished the IPL. They didn't play any warm-ups. They didn't do anything. Straight away went to the T20 World Cup. Look what happened. Didn't even make it past the Super 6 stage. They lost all their games in the Super 6 stage. They lost to the West Indies. They lost to Australia. They lost to Sri Lanka. Same situation. At least they're getting one warm-up game. And against Bangladesh.
But do those warm-up games carry any significance?
So that's what I have done a video on that. See, from 2014 onwards till now, India has won 4 out of the 5 warm-up games. But you've seen in the translation what has happened in the main tournament.
Yeah, because those warm-up games, I'm sorry to say, have no significance.
They have no significance. See, they won both their warm-up games in 2021 against Australia and England. Australia and England, by the way, 2 major contenders. But they didn't even make it past the league stages in the main tournament.
As I said.
England played one warm-up game in 22. India also played one warm-up game. But they clashed in the semi-final. So there is no specific trend as such that a warm-up game is important. As far as condition acclimatizing is concerned, maybe it plays a small part. Because in the West Indies in particular, but again, whatever happens in the US, it's not going to help the Super 8 stage when India is going to the West Indies. Totally different conditions.
Yeah, you would have come here.
US, it's like a lottery. You don't know what kind of pitches you're going to. You're only going to play in 2 venues there, New York and Florida.
I mean, it's going to be like Forrest Gump's box of chocolates, right? You don't know what you're going to get.
are you guys happy with how the scheduling has been done then for India?
No.
For India.
Is it
For India or by India?
No. Yeah, I mean.
Part of it
by
is down to
India.
our fault, right? We've
By
kept
India.
the IPL the way it is.
Whichever way. I'm saying going into a big tournament, not everyone is as lucky as Virat also to have some sort of downtime. Just worked out for him
Yeah.
because of the visa thing. Everyone else had to go, but even for Virat, 1-2 days at best. He again has to join the team. I think he's reaching in time for the first practice match, which is on
Correct,
the first.
On the first, I believe 30th is when he's flying out. The only guy giving him company would be Rinku Singh. Rest have reached.
Okay, so at least KKR players are allowed that. But and plus, anyway, he's just
Rinku's a travelling reserve.
Travelling reserve.
Though Rinku has said that he will be lifting the World Cup.
Maybe it means 26.
Could happen. I mean, see, most of the analysts have said India is one of the teams in the semi-finals.
I picked India.
Yeah, even I have also said that India is a semi-final
I
contender
gave you my
because
reasons. I'm not saying like that. I looked at India's
Seedings and groups.
seeding
Yeah.
groups, who they're going to play in Super 8.
I think Nasser, in fact, has picked India to win the World Cup.
See, I'll tell you while I agree with yesterday we had the dugout where most people said that a lot of them are saying because of being on the broadcaster, but Owen Morgan wasn't, and even Nasser has not said on an Indian broadcaster.
No, you would have said it on Sky.
Sky.
So my point is that one, of course, India has kind of built itself a reputation like that as being and it's not just down to ICC tournaments, but overall you see, right, dominance in bilaterals, overall test matches. Somehow you mix all of that up because you look at a team holistically. Also the muscle power, the financial clout, all of that adds and it creates an impression.
True.
I'm not saying all of it is right, but when you look at somebody, you look at an entire picture, and I think India benefits from that. That's why India is always considered dangerous. Plus, I think the other thing India has is, in terms of individual names being star or superstars, India always has that. So when you take a look at the team sheet, it gives you sometimes an illusion of being a very strong team because of very big names. So when you look at the team, again, for you and I, by the way, that's the other thing. For you and I, we follow all of these players day in and day out. Every little performance, whether it's domestic, because our focus is on India. What happens with overseas cricketers, they're only following a lot of Indian players on certain days or when they're making headlines or when they're getting 100. So they tend to remember that. They don't tend to remember so many failures unless it's a long extended run of failures, let's say for a Virat or a Rohit or whatever. Then they get to know because it makes the news item.
Yeah.
They don't see all of India's matches like us. So maybe sometime it creates that. So when you look at India's team sheet, look at it from an outsider, not as a journalist like us who's working day in and day out scrutinizing every part. They look at, wow, look at that team. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma,
Jasprit
Hardik
Bumrah,
Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah,
Jadeja,
Surya Kumar
Yadav,
Ravindra Jadeja.
Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Not Yashasvi, I'm just saying these are
Kuldeep.
big names, right?
Yeah, Kuldeep.
These are massive names that I've just taken in world cricket. And you look at the team and say, wow, you can't look past this team. It creates that. You tend to forget some form. So I think that's one, why you get to hear from a lot of experts. And two, might I say, is the fact, honestly, a lot of other teams are looking a bit
Wishy-washy.
wobbly too.
Yep.
It's just so happened. Now, again, if you remember, we spoke about it, Australia being Australia. But you look at some of their players, in terms of their form. Mitch Marsh coming off an injury wasn't showing some great form before that. Okay, Pat Cummins had a decent IPL, but we only looked at Pat Cummins mostly as a captain point of view. Not so much Pat Cummins, the batter, or Pat Cummins, the bowler also, who bowled in the middle overs, was one of the toughest job always. Had a few good games, but I'm just not saying outstanding.
Yeah.
Mitchell Starc had a horrendous start, finished off well.
Yeah.
Again, so mixed bag you can see.
Maxwell-
David Warner didn't have a great time, and you know that he's going to be starting. Maxwell had a horrid time. Stoinis had a mixed bag.
Mixed
Only
bag.
had a 100. Other than that,
nothing.
So
His 100, by the way, was the highest score this IPL.
that's it. So even they've been, if you look at those teams also as analytically as you're looking at India and as we scrutinize it, they all say ditto for England. A lot of their players ditto in terms of form, whether it's a Josh Butler or a Bairstow or Harry Brook hasn't been playing, did not even come. So if you look at a lot of these players, it's similar. I think all of that put together is the reason that it is like that. Well done to Shivam. All this while my mic wasn't on, but he never once told me that. All this full show has happened now.
You went on a full-on one.
No, not. Should have realized it at the start.
I'm just saying, it's still amusing. Took that long?
It's been
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh dear.
And he realizes it now.
Now.
Well done, Shivam. Great work.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I had the same reasons that, see, India, looking at the seeding, see, they're going to play two teams whom they've now beaten in the T20 World Cup also. It's New Zealand in Barbados and Sri Lanka potentially in Antigua.
Yeah.
So, somewhere
And Australia in St.
in
Lucia.
St. Lucia. So, that's why.
You need to win one between Australia and New Zealand, assuming India beats Sri Lanka. I know, kind of tricky game, but you'd give India the favours. They need to win one between New Zealand and Australia. And right now, both are not scaring you with their performances.
Yes, both are not.
So, I see a good chance India makes the semis.
Yeah.
And might I add, the pitches should be to India's liking.
Hope so. Because except for Barbados,
Which also we don't know now how it is. See, again, Barbados may not be a spin-friendly track, but Barbados also may not be a 250 kind of track.
no.
So, if it's a okayish kind of track, I
See,
think
that
it's
one
suits
ODI,
India.
it was spinners who did the damage in that West Indies ODI, where they got all out for 130, if I'm not mistaken. India won with about, where Kohli didn't even come out to bat despite being named in the squad, in the side. So I think there, I have a feeling the left arm spinners did the trick there in Barbados. But apart from that, if you look at it, St. Lucia is slightly sluggish. Antigua is also flat, like
They've not had T20 games in those stadiums for like years.
yeah.
So, we just don't know what's
We were
gonna
checking.
St. Lucia hosted all the games.
Yeah,
that
but
time.
10.
Yep. Quite
This is
some.
24.
It's a long time. So you don't know all the pictures. But assuming it's an
That's the last thing you saw.
ICC, yeah, but assuming it's an ICC tournament, you tend to have true-up surfaces.
Yeah.
So you'll get good batting friendly pitches.
They made
But-
even Ekana practically flat at one point.
But I even think that when you say batting friendly, they won't be like pitches where you were berserk also. I doubt.
Won't be Eden Gardens, put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, when you played in Barbados at one point,
Chepauk.
T20I somewhere you get around 180, 190 in Barbados. That's the trend that you look at it. So
That works for India. Actually, that sort of a game works in India's favor. They're
Especially while
masters.
chasing, yeah.
They're masters at that.
yep.
At that. Either if it becomes an Adelaide type of a game, that's the trouble for India.
I think first.
Sticky pitches.
Or if you get like a 2019 semi kind of a scenario,
One game.
Manchester. So
What about
19?
2021?
that or Adelaide, two extremes, no? That's where India gets trouble. Just give that middle part, they'll crack.
See, June is.
Adelaide was more about you not knowing.
No. But Adelaide was a belter.
Yeah.
See, you
didn't
play.
realize that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't need either belters. You don't need Manchesters. If you get that middle path, you get Chepoks.
Which you tried on 19th of November.
Chepoks, if you get.
Couldn't do it properly.
19th
but
November you tried.
That you messed up. That's the problem. You shouldn't have touched that thing.
Yes.
Just let it be a typical
The way
Indian
it
surface.
is.
You would have.
double stack insurance that backfired on you
you would have won it.
spectacularly. Because see, what about 2021 then? That time your batting totally collapsed. It was batting and bowling that collapsed in 2021. And the pitches weren't that sluggish.
No, they were not sluggish. The only thing that influenced the game severely was dew.
Dew.
So basically, win toss, win match was what you saw in 21.
Yeah.
When
21
toss chase,
Yeah, but 22 was a whole different beast. 22 was a different matter
22.
altogether.
yeah, that is the problem. So,
Scratchy Glowy World Cup.
Is a tired Indian team an issue?
big issue. Big issue because most of the guys, okay, they have had their downtime from 19th, 21st and 24th. These are the 3 dates that we are looking at. 19th because most of the Mumbai Indians guys knew they were not going to qualify. So apart from a Jasprit Bumrah, they only had a downtime now for 10 days. In those 10 days, you had to travel to 2-3 places. And you went to Mumbai, then you had to go to New York, settle in, acclimatize to the time zone there.
No, that happened on the 25th only, na?
25th, one
Between
batch
nine-
on 25th,
Ah,
but then another batch went on 27th.
27th, yeah.
So 24th, most of your guys were done. Were done because KKR SR didn't have any not a single Indian team member there except for Rinku, who's a traveling reserve.
Yes.
From 24th, for 2 months, you've been having this rigorous schedule. To suddenly snap out of it, a 7-day break is also not enough. It's just not enough. And it's the same issue which is going to crop up in 2010 all over again. Fatigue. Wasim Akram did remark, right? I mean, those players, they could have looked better. I mean, the fatigue was, see, this behind this photo only, they look so fatigued. The fatigue is evident.
Yeah.
Happy, but
Again, can I tell you, it's like glass half full, half empty. I agree with you, they're not an ideal situation. You should give players some break. You go mentally refreshed. It always works, especially when they've had a torrid time in the tournament leading up to the World Cup. See, had they gone in great form, then what happens? Then you don't want too much of a gap. You want to carry on that momentum. You say, okay, bring on the next tournament. Let me ride this good form. When you're in a bad phase, like a lot of them were, especially after the team was announced, suddenly you had a dip of majority of players. Then all the more reason you need a bit of a break. Luckily, some teams didn't even make it to the playoffs, so those guys have got some break. That has kind of worked out in their advantage. But more so, allow them a 10-15 day break. Recharge your batteries. Sometimes you need mental adjustments. Think about it away from the field. Now what happens? You out of the fire into the frying pan sort of a situation, right? Just one thing you've been put in there, haven't had time to recharge your batteries, carrying on that same baggage that you have, mentally more so than physically. So that it would have worked. But that's what I'm saying, the only bright side or the bright spark that I see is the fact that every other team is pretty much the same in a similar scenario.
But the one thing is that every other team you can be sure of that they get their tails up when it comes to big tournaments, and that's when India frees.
No. India also it's only the last knockout they freeze. Before that, they'll rocket.
see,
Yeah.
out of the 5 that you've seen from 2014, 14, 16, 21 and 22, the 4 games that you've seen, 5 games because 2014 was semi-final and a final, okay? Your bowling has let you down. 60 average and 9 economy rate in the knockout stages of the T20 World Cup. Knockout stages. The only team that is worse as far as economy is concerned.
Well, okay, let's look at the knockouts where 2019 semis, ODI World
I'm
Cup.
talking about only the T20. World
T20.
Cup.
Okay.
So 16, let's
T20, let's start T20. 21 say let's start. There was a big gap before that, so not fair. Like completely team has changed. 2021.
21 both batting and bowling.
Yes, correct. Below par total. Bowlers also did
Bowler
nothing.
also 10 wicket
Yeah,
difference.
okay,
and all you
nothing.
saw.
2022, I was your batting that led you needed to get a big. I agree, bowlers could have done better, but I think you had lost that game.
Yes.
Mid innings you finished, done dusting. You could have hope for maybe 10 wicket nahi, they should have picked up 3-4 wickets. It is much like the 2023 ODI final. Where you had put up below par total, but you were hoping the bowlers will pick up few wickets. They did, maybe they would pick up another couple. But you were destined to lose.
At best have been consolation only. Because both the times you knew half past in match is done.
Yeah.
It's only
Absolutely.
ceremonial now for things to take to just pan out.
See, 14 final was a batting. 14 final was the batting that let you down.
14 again 10 years. The teams have changed
Ah,
so much. So I think it's irrelevant to be considering what happened in 14. 16 also again you have to be just looking
start
at
from
time.
2007 then 7, 9, 10.
The only way,
9 and 10 you didn't
the
make
only
it to the
times I
semi-final.
feel,
Yeah, but no point.
14 and 16, especially talking about Indian players, because so many of them played those editions as well, is if you're looking at them just through the prism of their batting and bowling as individuals, not as a team.
See,
So
if you want to,
if somebody steps up during the knockouts, if someone doesn't step up, that's when 14, 16, the numbers there have a picture to reveal. Otherwise, I don't quite think there's a lot to be learned.
see, even in 2010, it was like 2021 for you. Your batting and bowling in the leagues, in the knockout stages failed. In the Super 6 encounters, you didn't do well against Australia. You were 6 down before Rohit gave you some consolation knock. You were blown away by the West Indies, an inspired West Indies side by Chris Gale's 98 in Trinidad. Sri Lanka, you just couldn't crack them. After beating them consistently in 2010, you didn't win at St. Lucia against them. So that is why somewhere down the line 21, you want to avoid what happened in 2021, where your batting and bowling collapsed in the 2 games that mattered. Rest of the 4 games you are like a machine. But it was too late at that time.
Yeah, because you already lost. You have to win one of those games, just one.
2022, the one game that you lost in the league stage, your batting and bowling let you down. I mean, they couldn't take their catches. Batting was a big failure in Perth, except for Surya's knock. In the semi-final, your batters froze, but looking at the statement that 165 was a par total, your bowlers didn't do it.
Yeah, but 165 didn't seem like a par
Par,
total.
exactly.
Did you
That's
see the way Alex
exactly-
Hales and Josh Butler
Yeah,
were batting?
that's
Not a
exactly
chance it
the-
was a par total.
Now,
That was debunked within a matter of 90 minutes.
so I'm not even breaking it out to bowling, batting, whichever works, doesn't work. The fact is that whether you're tired or not will be equally for the batters and the bowlers. Ideally, I repeat, you should have given them a gap. They haven't had a gap, you make do with it. Rest of the teams also, the top contenders, Australia had a lot of players in the IPL, England had a lot of players. Even the ones they left, they had to play a series. Then there are the other teams which have had precious little in terms of cricket.
Pakistan.
Like Pakistan, they would have wanted, they're on the other extreme. They've hardly got any games under their belt. So, that may not work for them very differently.
Same with Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka as well.
Only 2 guys, if I'm not mistaken, are in that. 3 guys, part of that World Cup squad who have played in the IPL.
Patirana, Tikshana.
Patirana, Tikshana, I think even this guy, Tushara.
no one to show.
Mohan Tushara, and even is Chamira there in the World Cup squad?
Doesn't matter, he played one game for KKR.
That's what, but he played, right, for KKR.
Not saying much, but yeah.
Yeah, then Bangladesh had 2 disastrous series. USA and imagine, I'm saying disastrous against USA. That shows how Bangladesh is at this point in time. Plus their one warm-up game against USA got cancelled because of the rain. So Ireland also, they had 1 series against Pakistan. That's it. South Africa, their bowlers, their players have not had that much.
Oh, they had a series against West Indies which they lost pretty handily.
But that is the B team, not the...
But again, the problem for them is similar. Majority of their players were here.
Yeah. And in fact, the B team losing like that, they were up against even a B West Indies team. And some of those B West Indies team players are actually in the squad.
Yeah.
Johnson, Charles, Gudakesh, Moti, Akhil Hussain, all these guys are playing that series.
Yep.
So
Left-handers, yeah.
Brandon King, who's the captain.
But Charles is getting a second wind now because
Yeah.
of the form that he showed in the South Africa series. Big hits here.
No, Charles has actually been one of, I think, the more underrated T20 backers over the past year. I remember KKR had signed him as a replacement player last year. Didn't play a game, but he had come off he was picked as a replacement player in the back of some good form in domestic leagues, including the CPL. So he's been one of the better ones. Brandon King, I had doubts over because he always struck me as an ODI batter, but I think he's also been doing reasonably well.
See, you've played a total of 14
Sunil who?
T20. 14 T20 games for most of the guys. And you've had the rigor of 14,000 kilometers that you
For Virat
traveled.
was
For Virat,
40,000.
it's
It's
Let's
about
assume-
10,000, I think, for Rohit, and about 8,000 or 9,000 for Pant.
Fine, because he didn't feature in one game.
One
and
game.
that's why,
So whatever.
So, okay, 9 to 15,000 in that range.
45 minutes.
Still, that is almost like you've traveled from Mumbai to London or Mumbai to New York here.
It's a lot of travel.
It's a lot of travel. It isn't the IPL action on the field that fatigues you, it is the travel that fatigues you.
Yeah, because and we know some games there was literally no turnaround time.
And India is a
we
massive
saw-
country. Yeah, let's not that what they show on the map is a absolute farce. It's larger on the Mercator scale, so that's why 3 hours from north to south.
If they would have allowed everyone to visit Veronica, I mean, like Veronica, it would have been nice. They could have gone to, everyone would have, Rinku wouldn't have gone to a Veronica, he would have found some other restaurant. And then Sky would have found some other. But they can make Virat jealous. They'll be dining in some nice, fine restaurants in New York City.
Big Apple.
Who knows? They can go to that Vikas Khanna's restaurant.
Junoon.
I don't know the name. It's pretty popular though.
Very popular.
I don't know
he's
the name.
One of your few Michelin star chefs from India.
Yeah.
I think he's the only one, right? Or there are 2, 3.
No, I think
Vineet's,
he's
Chef Vineet Bhatia
do you
is-
know the highest, which is the highest Michelin star Indian restaurant? Where is it and which one is it? Do you know?
No.
Must be Vikas Khanna's.
I have no idea.
Firstly, do you know which city is it? The highest Michelin star rated
Dubai?
Indian restaurant? No.
Are in India?
No.
No.
Be anywhere.
London?
No.
New Delhi?
No.
I give up.
It is.
Spain?
It is in Bangkok.
No.
Oh, that female chef.
No. And the chef's name is Gagan Anand.
Okay, Gagan Anand.
So he used to have a restaurant called Gagan's, which is the highest rated Michelin star restaurant, which is Indian, serving Indian cuisine. He would do Indian fusion. And now I think he's changed that. He's split with the partner, whatever.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Best Indian food in terms of Michelin star is not in India, not even in London
it's
or
in
New York.
Oh,
which is
someplace
a-
where there'd be expats. It's
Yeah,
in Bangkok.
it's in Bangkok.
Bangkok. Wow. Lovely.
Yeah, I because I tried to get a reservation there once, I could not because you have to book well in advance.
Obviously.
In all these places, I think you need to.
How many stars?
I think it
It's a
has
3-star.
No, Michelin star.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 Michelin stars. I
Yeesh,
think.
that's
Yeah. But I'll just check.
Because I think the highest is the 3. 3
No,
Michelin
no,
star
no.
restaurant.
No. I think there is 5 also. I mean, not Indian food.
Oh. No, but I thought the highest that a Michelin
No.
star restaurant can have is 3.
No, depends on how.
I know.
Not much about the quantum of it. It's about specialization.
You don't get extra rice free.
Yeah. Don't even get dhania free.
I don't know.
So it's in the top 50 restaurants of the world.
Okay.
Wow.
So
I suddenly miss my brother because he's been away from the country for about a year now, and he's trained at one of the Michelin star restaurants.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Where in?
He spent a year training in Spain in this Michelin star restaurant, which is in Bilbao.
Oh, nice place to be.
So
Basque country.
Past
So
country.
don't talk about always having to spend a lot to have the best food. I've cut corners, let's say, in that regard.
Basque country. Wow, that's fantastic place to be in as far as cuisine,
Yes.
as far as.
Tells me about this brilliant experience.
no,
that
sorry,
he had.
it has 2 Michelin stars.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
highest.
The highest is 3. 3 is like the
Is
absolute.
it? I
gold
thought it was
standard.
5.
No, those are stars.
No, it's I think 3 Michelin stars. The highest restaurant.
Yeah, because I think one time it was Marco Pia White. who had gotten 3 Michelin stars. And I think he had some sort of falling out with the Michelin people, and he ended up returning one of those stars in protest.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have to be next level, like,
Yeah, to
this
be.
thing to just return one of them and be like,
I'll have to check a bit more because this is some articles. I won't. I don't
He made
know.
Gordon Ramsay cry. That
Is
guy.
that a surprise? Have you seen Marco Pierre?
He's a monster.
Okay, let's take a few questions.
Yeah. Danush is saying Chahal has no contract but still picked in T20 World Cup. Will Ishan and Shreyas be picked for Zimbabwe T20 series? Shreyas played Ranji semi-final and final.
Never say never. Because Zimbabwe, you're going to be taking your fringe players anyway. In fact, dare say even for Sri Lanka, there's no chance. any of
Yeah,
the
you're
senior
going
players
to
are-
play after the end of the T20 World Cup immediately. So yes.
Bad chance you're taking any of your seniors for that.
Okay. Ishan Bhatt says, love sports today.
Thank you.
Try the Theo's restaurant in
Of course,
Noida.
yeah.
Sir. Of
course
course
we
we have. All our cakes come
Half
from
of our
Theo's.
cakes come from
And
Theo.
by the way, the original was in Sector 41, which
Yes.
is still there.
Yeah, it is.
And all the time I order cakes, and they have amazing pizzas and pastas and everything else. The entire bakery is outstanding. for Theo.
Outstanding.
And the owner stays in the same tower as me.
Is it the one that's right next to this gaming zone, gaming arcade?
Yes,
Yes.
that's the
main
original one.
Original one.
But
Yeah.
now they've got in the Mall of
100.
India, and they've got one standalone in 100, in Mall of India as well. And so
It's
they're
good, it's good.
It's fantastic.
very good. The bakery stuff is
Phenomenal.
Fantastic. Iga Swiatek.
It's in the Fab 4.
fact.
Iga Swiatek fan. Today, Delhi temperature is nearing Gavaskar's
Yes!
average of 52.
No, it's surpassed
It
it.
crossed.
52.3.
Crossed.
It's crossed.
If it reaches Smith's, we are done. Thank God you didn't say Bradman.
But I mean, it's a great comment. But jokes apart, for people who do not have access to air conditions or even
This is the worst
fans,
time.
and no, it's near
death.
death.
Yeah. Not near that. For many,
For
would
some
be
it
death.
is. No, the ones are working out, yeah. But if you're not, at least even if you're sitting under a tree, you could survive that with plenty of water. But the ones who have to work, oh my God.
Think about people who have no option.
No, the people
Imagine
who died.
those construction workers. and-
People have died. There's a story a few days ago I read in Rajasthan, which had touched, closing in on
Churu
50.
or
Churu,
something,
yes.
Yeah, so
Shivanagar.
the closer they found 30 bodies, which actually the cops picked up from roadsides. So clearly people who collapsed, right? Heat stroke or whatever, yeah, dehydrated, heat stroke, fallen down, maybe working or had to walk or carry something, or somebody may have a stall which is in the open, whatever, just collapsed.
I mean, for
Like
the
that.
first time, is it right, Harshit?
Falling off dead.
First time ever Delhi's
Yes.
summer temperature
Yeah,
crossed
It was the highest ever.
Ever.
So
Ever.
just yesterday when it was 49 point something was the
49.9,
highest ever in
yes.
Delhi's history. This has crossed it.
And
But the good news is it's
It rained a bit.
a little bit.
So the one thing is, it's also the way that you look at it. Now, for most times that you record Delhi temperature, so Delhi and NCR, I think it's got 14
different temperatures.
It's got 14 stations.
Yeah.
14 med stations. So the one that's considered when you talk about Delhi temperature is, I think, the one in Safdarjung.
Huh.
This one though, the one that crossed 50 wasn't the Mungeshpur. It wasn't the Safdarjung one. So it depends how you look at it. But yeah, parts of Delhi, Narayana and all also were near 49 yesterday.
Najafgarh would have been closer.
Najafgarh was
50,
also in the
yeah.
late 40s. Yes, you're right.
Okay, we have to wind up in
Yeah.
some time, so let's take a question.
Give them a message.
Give whom a message?
Stay safe.
Make plans.
Is my mic on?
Yes.
Okay.
See the government.
Stay safe, stay indoors, drink plenty of water, and if you need be, wet a towel, keep it on your head if you must go out. But I would suggest don't go out.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, I tried that within 5 minutes. It was dry.
That is a long-term solution, planting trees. BCCI is doing it, thousands after so many dot balls.
500
for each dot ball.
Dot ball.
Let's calculate.
The
how
IPL
many-
final was very beneficial to them, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
And qualifier one.
Pranit Datta. I think India's strength is the bowling with Boom, Arshdeep, Chahal, Kuldeep. Batting will be dependent on Jaiswal, Surya, Dubey, who play at the right T20 tempo.
And all three of whom have come off average IPLs.
Yes.
And you hope that two of those three names actually feature in the 11.
All will. All will.
All will?
Dubey you have to play. You have-
Jaiswal?
Yeah, yeah.
Jaiswal. I'm also hoping, but I don't know. Love Current Tour from the US is saying West Indies squad looks solid. Pakistan, West Indies, South Africa, and Oz are in the top four.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction of Karan. Very bold prediction.
Yeah. Yep.
Ashish Dhar, India must use 4 players. Is Turup ka ekka, sorry.
Isn't it Hukum ka ekka?
Turup ka ekka, huh?
My Hindi is very poor. Please pardon
Turup
me.
ka ekka. He said trump card is what he meant.
Maybe.
But who are those 4 players?
Turup ka ekka in the center. Okay.
We don't know. Shubham Garg. Can this World Cup be VK's 2011 Sachin World Cup moment? Sachin had performed in 96, 2003, yet no win. Same as Kohli, 14, 16, 22, no win. Only if other players perform.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I think it'll be surprising if that happens.
Let's see. Praneeth Datta, I think Sid's comments on the bowling being weak is unfair. In Abu Dhabi and Adelaide, the batting did not get enough runs. And the bowlers restricted Pakistan in Australia to a par total, though we did not have Bumrah. Correct, Praneeth, but then see, it is a combination of both if you look at 2021. 2022, I would say just one thing. See, last 10 overs, 106 runs were scored. Okay, 168. In a high pressure final, you are expected to put up a better feast of it.
Not just
but
that,
your bowlers got deflated.
Yeah.
The track got better, and that's why you suffered the 10 wicket bowling.
But can I be honest? I didn't see the track as being that much of a problem in Adelaide. Even early on, it's not like England had world-class bowlers. They were also without a Jofra Archer,
yeah.
Most of their damage.
Yeah, you just.
There was a bit of extra bounce. That's it.
No,
Typical
how
story.
many risks were you willing to take?
None.
That's the problem.
Fear of failure. Too much pressure.
Yeah.
You have to win. And by the way, it's not going to reduce this time around as well.
It won't.
Because see, the thing is that this Indian team has gone there on the back of a World Cup that they should have won, and they are still reeling from that. Okay, and smarting from that loss in the final. Rohit and co probably no last or almost second last or however, I don't know, Champions Trophy, who plays the chance to win an ICC trophy, and they're going to be desperate. So that in no way takes the pressure off you. That fear of failure will only be there. The only thing you can do is change the mindset and be like, okay, doesn't matter, it's not happened so far, maybe another time, just give it all that you've got, play fearless cricket, let's see what happens. But if you're again going to go with that pressure, no, we have to win, we are India, we are everyone's favorite, we have to win, then same thing will happen. You'll do well in the non-pressure games, you qualify for the semis as we are looking now, and then when it comes to the semi, then you bottle it because you try to play percentage cricket.
Doesn't work that way.
Yep.
Mikey King holds it either.
Mikey King says that our approach will be the same throughout all matches, including the last match in Barbados. The T20 World Cup is coming home. I'm counting on Sky, Chahal, Hardik, Arshdeep, Dubey to be the decisive factors in our victory. #believe.
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Baman is back.
Baman back.
Baman's back. It's been a while.
He says that people looking for a quick revival of India in T20 based is on the addition of 2 youngsters are setting themselves for a big disappointment. Sadly, there is no quick fix to deep-rooted structural problems.
I agree.
Mikey King, that's your answer. Yeah, but then who knows, somewhat of a miracle can happen in Barbados.
But that's exactly my point. You're also talking about it being like a miracle. So realistically, there's no expectation that you have 2 players and you're suddenly world beaters.
That's not happening.
It's the same thing I see a lot of people saying about even potentially getting Gautam as a coach. Bring him, he's the right man, he'll fix everything. I've heard the same things about Rahul Dravid, heard the same things about Ravi Shastri. Structural issues are your main problem, simple as that.
Yep. So, do you think in this World Cup, first innings...
Why aren't you taking his
Shubham
name?
Garg, sorry. Shubham Garg.
Not Pandey?
No,
You took his name already in the show, that's why you know.
Mistaken identity though. Do you think in this World Cup, first innings jinx will get broken in knockout games? No team has won a knockout game in a T20 World Cup batting first since 2014.
Yes, maybe. I think this is one
West
of those.
Indies lost to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka defended the total. In a rain impacted game, by the way. 2012, Sri Lanka again defended in that semi-final. And in the other game, West Indies saw Australia.
But
I
this
think
is 2014.
14, 16 if you look at it, both won while chasing. 21, both won while chasing.
He's saying, exactly.
Knockout, semi-final and final.
Oh, okay.
22, both, what about Pakistan, New Zealand? In the semi-final. India, England, Pakistan.
England chased. That
Yeah.
I remember.
What about Pakistan, New Zealand? Pakistan chased. I think I'll have to recollect that.
No, but if he's saying it, let's assume, and actually predominantly the record is that in these could happen.
In fact, in a final, you've never won while defending a total. I mean, look at it. 2007, no, India was the only team to defend.
India defended 2007.
9 Pakistan chased, 10 England chased, 12 Sri Lanka defended.
12.
No, West Indies defended in 2012. Yeah,
Because
that's
India,
final.
I think, batted first.
Yeah, 14 Sri Lanka
14.
chased, 16 West Indies chased.
Again, that also 140 or something you ended on.
Once in when?
14.
137 or something, yeah. Then you chased, West Indies chased, 21 Pakistan, 21 it was Australia who chased, 22 England chased.
Okay, last couple of questions.
GGK, now narrative changing within days.
Read that one, huh?
I did say, no?
No, just saying read it fully.
Yeah, GGK, now narrative changing within days. From India are way behind to no team looks dominating. Just like election narrative change.
I don't know whether I mean, I'm just taking, I don't know about the election narrative, whether it's changed or not. There are mixed reports.
On everything, really.
Is very confusing. We don't know. You can watch the exit poll on the 1st and the counting on the 4th to find out. As for India, the narrative, I think, never changed. Who would have not picked India top 4? I mean, even now, it could be risky they don't make it. But there's a good chance they make it. But I will maintain something that I said a few months ago. Probably the most open T20 World Cup that you're going to have.
Yeah.
A good 9 or at least 9 teams. Anybody would make it.
Yep.
Okay. Vishal says, Nikhil, sorry I can't meet you at the World Cup because my transplant is scheduled at that time. So have a good time. Oh, Vishal, that's very unfortunate. But here's wishing you all the very best with your transplant.
Yep.
I hope you enjoy the game on the telly.
Yes.
And cheer for India. But you can always join us online on Sports Today.
Yep.
Right? We're sending you all the reports from there.
Quick recovery as well.
Yep.
Okay. Final comment. Abhay Chauhan, you've taken?
No, we haven't
Okay,
taken
let's
that.
take that.
He says in T20s, all eyes on Bumrah, Sky, Hardik, Kuldeep. For me, there are many going as a luggage this World Cup. Hope that they play T20 as T20, not tests.
I agree.
Yes.
But I don't agree with going with as luggage. I agree with the last pick.
Indeed.
Okay. Anything else?
Good.
Forever hold your silence.
Till tomorrow at least.
Yes, we have a exclusive coming up with the man of the moment in Chandrakant Pandit, the coach of Kolkata Knight
The
Riders.
first ever coach to have won both the Ranji Trophy as well as the IPL.
Wow.
Has done that.
First domestic coach that has done well at the IPL as well.
Yeah, because he's the only domestic coach who ever got a chance.
Exactly.
And it continues Kolkata's dominance across all sports in India.
Yes, barring the ISL final, Mohun Bagan lost there.
Yeah, but then you look at I-League and you look at all the other,
Yeah, I-League was won by Mohammedan, you're right.
now IPL Kolkata.
So he's spoken about coaching, different players, Rinku, Shreyas Iyer, what did they do, and his own chances of being or not being India's coach. So do check that out. Probably 9 o'clock we'll premiere it. So that's coming your way at 9 p.m. tonight. It's a long half-hour conversation. And I want to take that because see the name that is given, the first thing.
Yesterday we had Harshit's fiance, and today we have.
Naughty boy, whoever that is. So I won't take your name, but I'll take your question. Guys, will you be doing a England, South Africa, West Indies, New Zealand squad analysis? Let's do that.
But we've done
But we've
squads
done
for a
the
lot of
squad.
these nations.
Yeah. When the squads were announced, but now like
11s.
11s and all that we do. No?
Yeah, let's do 11s for these ones.
Let's do. Maybe tomorrow we can do in the
We'll
dugout.
start.
Yeah, each dugout can be dedicated to one team.
Yep.
We'll do that for the moment. Bye bye. Take care. Good night. Vadakkam. Nandri. Shivam will not let us finish. He does not check if the mic is on or not. Do not forget to subscribe to Sports Today.
I actually thought you said do not subscribe,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
but you almost did a faf.
He's a cup nahi.
Faf said subscribe to Sports Today or not.
Oh boy.
But just do subscribe, you will get to know when the interview is coming up anyway. So
Yeah,
that's another way.
Yeah, press the bell icon for that. Easy peasy. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Nandri.